Welcome to another Building Your Business. My name is Rob Klaus, and in this session, I want to talk about internet marketing. One of the more common phone calls or emails we get through the mentor line is from inspectors who have beat the streets and thought they did everything right. And then all of a sudden, they're sitting at home or they're sitting in their office and they're waiting for the phone to ring. And sometimes it's just a matter of engagement and a matter of being found, and specifically being found on the internet. In our current marketplace, the realtors or those stakeholders that you're looking to get in front of don't necessarily know you're out there. And it takes a little bit more effort. And most of the time, that effort can be as simple as internet marketing. Now, some of the stuff that I'm going to provide for you today, actually all of the stuff that I'm going to provide you today, is available on our website. Through it, I would certainly recommend reading all the articles, taking a look at what we have up there. There's some tremendous resources. And beyond that, consider bringing in a website person to help you. Somebody that understands some of the more finer details. You're an inspector. You're not a website guru. And so bringing in somebody to help you would certainly be of benefit. The first place I want to go is right on our website. And it's an article that was written a year or two ago called Commercial Inspection Website Guidance. In this particular article, we go on and start talking about how important it is to do digital marketing. You have to be able to be searchable, findable. You have to be out there for your clients and referral sources to locate you. And in doing that, you should probably create your own separate commercial property website. Right now, you've probably, if you're a residential home inspector, you've probably got some simple website or some even elaborate website that all talks about homes. And up there's a button that says, I do commercial as well. But that's not how people are going to find you. They're specifically looking for commercial. They're not looking for a residential inspector. So you want to take a look at that. You want to figure out what's the best position I could be. Now that position could be a ghost website placed somewhere that's Rob's Commercial Inspections, and then it's linked back to your main site, but Rob's Commercial Inspections is absolutely searchable. Or it could be just a standalone site that sits over and then you just cross-link it back. Again, I'm not a web guru. I'm trying to help give you best practices so that you're able to be found. The other thing we might want to think about is working on the Find an Inspector section. We have that in our website. Our website's very well optimized. And in finding the inspector from our search engine, there'll be people that are going to search backwards from our site, because our site comes up quite often in most searches across the country. And then you want to also think about, if you're doing your website, some additional personal branding. Maybe removing home from your logo or doing anything like that. You want to be branded as a commercial inspector and not a residential inspector. And that's where you'll think about the branding, and you'll think about some other sources for you to start planting your seeds for your business. Now, at the bottom of this article, we do have links to 3 other articles. One includes starting a DBA. One includes some extra SEO work and some marketing. But let's take a look at optimizing. Optimizing is letting the internet know you exist, and you exist often. Now, I don't say you exist often by means of, yeah, there you are all the time. It's you're becoming searchable and findable. And so using keywords is important. Now, what I mean by keywords are phrases in your website that are likely to be found in the look or the world looking for you. So in other words, I'm using words like commercial property inspection, commercial inspections, commercial inspector. And by using that, that's what people are searching for. Maybe building inspector is a nice generic term as well. But you have to think about what questions are going to be put into the key bar on a search engine, whether it's Google or Alta Vista or Bing or GoDuckGo or any of the other search engines. What are they going to put in, and what will you show up? And so using those phrases will help you rank up. So if I'm writing an article, if I'm writing a blog, or I'm doing anything, I want to try to use those key phrases and those key words often, but not too often. Another phrase that they use are called stop words. Stop words are pauses, and stop words are roadblocks. And those roadblocks are typically put up by the search engine companies. So if I write residential and commercial in an article, or home inspector and commercial inspector, that and is a monster roadblock and stops all searching. So if you're going to have two websites, you write one article that's only, or one, I call it article, but it could be just anything embedded in your website, and you only write residential in that one. And then you go to your other one, it's commercial, and you only write commercial in that one. And you never say the word home in your commercial, you never say the word commercial in your home. And then that helps you tremendously in your searchability and the way SEO works, which is search engine optimization. Then you also want to pay attention to keyword density as well. The whole idea is the internet and the search engine companies understand padding and density. So in other words, in grade school, when you had to write a 500-word essay and you write the entire question out in the first sentence, and then the next sentence you just keep repeating the first question over again with one more word, that's keywords. They call that keyword stuffing or keyword spamming. And the whole idea of this is if commercial is your keyword, or commercial inspections is keyword, or property inspections is keyword, try to move around it. And so if I'm going to write an article, I don't want to use the word commercial more than 1.5% to 2% of all the other words in the article. So I will try to think of synonyms for commercial: property, building, etc. And so I'll interchange those. And then lastly, so we've looked at keywords are essential, stop words, density. Our next one is location. So the nice thing about commercial inspections is many inspectors like to broaden their scope. They like to look at their territory or where they're going to work in a little bit wider gaze than, let's say, a residential inspector, because of the lack of boundaries that happen with commercial, or the more opportunity you have with commercial. So using a geographical phrase in anything you write helps the context of the searchability. So in other words, if I say performing commercial inspections in the greater Boulder area of Colorado provides these challenges. Well, then if somebody looks for commercial inspector Boulder, I've got Boulder and commercial in the same sentence. But if I go providing commercial inspections in northern Colorado, or Central Colorado or the Great Plains or the Southwest or the United States. Each one of those has some form of locator involved with it, and that's a key item that the search engines will hone in on. It's amazing how this works, and most of us were just knuckle dragging commercial building inspectors. We're not software engineers. We're not website gurus. And so because of that, I always let them be my guidepost. But I need to understand as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as somebody paying for this service, how this stuff works. And so location is a key thing. And then our next would be length. Whatever you write should be a quick read. It's not the manifesto. It's not a 50-page document. You're not writing a thesis. So everything you read, everything you write should be anywhere between 500 to 750 words in content. And if you want to do a little bit more length, then 1,000 to 1,500 words max. Max. If you go beyond that, then it's tough to read. Your audience isn't hanging on your website, and then on top of that, it's not good for SEO. It just looks like you're just making something gigantic to be gigantic. And then lastly, as you're writing, or designing your website, bullets and headings are awesome because those are large billboards, or they're large eye lines for SEO to grab. So if I write something like location and then write an article about Greater Boulder commercial inspections, then not only is location pinpointing, but then the SEO can grab the location as well. So think about that as you're building your website. So think about using headlines, making sure the length is right, location, paying attention to word density, avoiding stops, and then making sure that you do have your keywords. Now, if you've done all that, then you can start thinking about optimization. And our optimization, or SEO optimization, is critical because that's the internet today. That's how you're found. That's where you're showing up. That's when you put something in a search bar, how it comes up. And so when we think about SEO, we're thinking about the different ways to drive the traffic. So we've got on-site traffic, which is traffic that's optimized on your website. It's using keywords, it's using internal links, there's meta tags, and there's customization from your URL structure. There's offsite, which is the big goal, and that's to bring people in, and you want to share things. And so once content's live on the internet, activities to promote this content, sharing, commenting, social media reviews, engagement, all of these are part of your offsite. There's local or local-based results, and this is a guide your customer to the results in your particular location, that you're trying to be recognized as in your particular area or your local SEO. Or there's organic. And organic is just the random people finding you. I had great success with organic when I ran my business because that's how I would find the majority of my new customers. And my intent was to provide information to the customer and get them to come to me. That was my organic searching, and that's what I worked very hard on. Now, if you're doing all these things and you're working on your SEO, and that doesn't have to cost much, if anything, and that's just being engaged. That's adding blogs, adding photos, making your website present and alive. And the more present and alive I am on my website, the higher my page rank is. I say this in class quite often to the students in our introduction course, is the internet doesn't care. It has no bias, and it doesn't care if you've been in business for 10 years or 2 years or 1 year or 1 month. Only thing it cares about is your page alive and are you searchable? And so the higher your page rank is, the higher you are in your searchability, the better you will be in being able to be found by your clients. Being found by your clients. One of the ways to do that is through pay-per-click advertising. While this might be something that you're going, I can't afford it, I can't do this, I understand. But doing pay-per-click advertising produces a monster benefit that I'll show you in a minute. But what it is creating either an ad group or a campaign. One of the advantages we have right now as a commercial inspection industry is we're not as saturated, let's say, as the residential industry. And so any of the advertising or the marketing that we do on the internet is not as costly as the advertising and the marketing it is on the residential side. What I mean by that is most of the time when you're doing internet marketing, it is some form of an auction. It is some form of competition between you and the other industry people. So if I've got a marketplace of 500 residential home inspectors and I'm going to try to do pay-per-click advertising, if 200 of those 500 are already doing it, then my cost entry to try to buy time in that space is going to be much more expensive than if there's two. It's just me and somebody else, and maybe that somebody else doesn't do it all the month and I do it half the month. Then for half a month, each of us are completely visible and completely engaged in the advertising. So types of ads there's search ads, and search ads reach customers interested in your product or service. There's display ads, which run different ads across the web. There's shopping ads, which help promote products for shopping. There's video, which you can do on things like YouTube or across the web. There's app ads, and those are ads that might show up if you're playing a video game or playing with a particular app. There's smart ads, which make your business goals with automated ads across the web. So if somebody searched looking for buildings, let's say, through a site, a smart ad would follow them and then drip your information to them. There's local ads, which just work around your physical location. And then there's discovery ads. Again, those kind of run on YouTube or Gmail or someplace. And so all of those are types of AdWord campaigns. Most of these are typically not facilitated or not engaged by you, the inspector, but you're typically hiring an outside agent to help you with them. But the whole idea is you're trying to build your rank and you're trying to get the highest score possible, and that's an internal score, so that you're found. And so one of the benefits that I've always seen with pay-per-click advertising is the fact you can do it short term. You don't have to do it long term. You don't have to do it forever. But one of the reasons why you do it is to add an instant boost to your company. An instant boost to your company is maybe the first month, the 2 months, the 5 months, the 6 months. Maybe you're in a slow period. Maybe there's a period of time where your business has dropped a little bit. Well, then maybe you got to think about advertising and advertising here versus hitting the streets and knocking on doors. Realtors are not in their office all the time. Blind spamming them with email doesn't work. So maybe go into the consumer. And like I say, internet advertising is an excellent way to drive new business. And through pay-per-click advertising, I have that ability to give myself an instant jump start. Now, the other thing to think about too is and lastly, I should say, is how are you being listed on the internet? When you look at this image right here, I have the CCPIA's Google My Business page. Now, when you come into that, it says Certified Commercial Property Inspectors Association, a link to our website. You can call our office hours, and then typically either right here or underneath is a tag. And that tag is how the search engines find you. So I have my name as Certified Commercial Property Inspectors Association, but I want to put a tag there that says Commercial Property Inspector or Commercial Property Inspections. That is the easiest and costs zero money to get the organic search traffic to be found. And so I would have that on there. And so again, we have lots of articles available to you as members. They're free of charge. Read them, understand them, build yourself a very good website. Either cross-link it back with a URL or have a complete other website that stands alone. But you need to be searchable and you need to be found. Beyond that, do great inspections and let your clients ring your bell. Until next time, this is Rob Klaus, and this is Building Your Business.